The silent threat. In the vast, uncharted regions of the Orion Arm, the Xeraxian civilization had long been forgotten. Their once thriving world of Nexora hung like a dying ember in the cosmic darkness, a testament to a species on the brink of extinction. The planet's once vibrant emerald landscapes had been reduced to ashen plains, ravaged by centuries of environmental collapse and technological decay. Commander Elena Rodriguez stood on the bridge of the UES Horizon, her dark eyes scanning the holographic display that showed the mysterious signal they had been tracking for weeks. The ship's advanced sensor arrays had picked up an anomalous transmission that didn't match any known communication protocols in the human database. Lieutenant Kai, she called to her communications officer, run another analysis on that signal. There's something about it that doesn't add up. Kai Martinez, a young officer with a reputation for exceptional pattern recognition, worked his console with practiced precision. His fingers danced across the holographic interface, filtering and refiltering the incoming data. "Commander," he said, his voice tinged with excitement, "I'm detecting multiple layers of information. It's like a distress call wrapped in multiple encryption shells." The Horizon was no ordinary exploration vessel. Part of humanity's most advanced deep space reconnaissance fleet, the ship was equipped with cutting-edge technology that pushed the boundaries of interstellar exploration. Its crew was handpicked for their adaptability, intelligence, and unwavering commitment to humanity's expanding frontiers. Dr. Amira Khan, the ship's lead xenobiologist, joined Commander Rodriguez at the bridge's central display. Her holographic tablet projected complex atmospheric and geological scans of the planet below. "The transmission is coming from a civilization that's experiencing a total systemic collapse," she explained, her voice a mixture of scientific detachment and genuine concern. "Their entire planetary ecosystem is on the verge of complete breakdown." The planet Nexora appeared almost lifeless from orbit. Vast regions of what should have been lush vegetation were now barren wastelands. Scattered remnants of massive technological structures jutted from the surface like the skeletal remains of a once great civilization. "We're detecting minimal energy signatures," Kai reported. "Whatever civilization exists down there is running on absolute minimal resources." Commander Rodriguez studied the data, her mind racing through potential scenarios. First contact protocols were strict, especially when dealing with a potentially vulnerable civilization. The United Earth Exploration Court had learned the hard way that intervention could be as destructive as non-intervention if not handled with extreme care. "Prepare a reconnaissance shuttle," she ordered. "Dr. Khan, Lieutenant Martinez, you'll be part of the initial contact team. We need to understand their situation without causing further disruption." The next few hours were a flurry of preparation. The team carefully selected communication devices, environmental suits, and scientific equipment designed to minimize their impact. Each piece of technology was calibrated to provide maximum information gathering with minimal interference. As the shuttle descended through Nexora's turbulent atmosphere, the team could see the true extent of the planetary devastation. Massive infrastructure projects stood half completed, their advanced materials slowly decaying under the harsh environmental conditions. Enormous energy collection arrays, once symbols of technological prowess, now looked like rusted monuments to a dying civilization. "Preparing initial communication protocols," Dr. Khan muttered, adjusting her translation matrices. The ship's advanced AI had been working overtime, trying to decode the complex linguistic patterns embedded in the original transmission. The landing was smooth, almost eerily so. The shuttle's external sensors scanned the immediate environment, creating a comprehensive threat assessment. Radiation levels were high but manageable, atmospheric composition was marginal but breathable with the right protective gear. As the shuttle's airlock opened, the first glimpse of a Xeraxian came into view. A tall, slender figure emerged from a partially collapsed structure. Its body seemed to shimmer with a translucent quality, adaptations clearly developed to survive in this harsh environment. Eyes that seemed to contain entire galaxies looked at the human visitors, a mixture of hope, fear, and profound weariness. Commander Rodriguez stepped forward, her universal translator active. "We come in peace," she said, the words carefully modulated to convey openness and non-threat. "We receive your transmission and have come to understand." The Zyrexian representative, whom they would later learn was named Selnera, a cultural historian and last remaining diplomatic representative of their species, took a hesitant step forward. Little did they know, this moment would mark the beginning of a relationship that would reshape the understanding of life, survival, and cooperation in the galaxy. The silent threat of extinction was about to encounter an unexpected ally. Bridging worlds. The first hours of contact between humans and Zyrexians were a delicate dance of communication and mutual understanding. Inside a reinforced shelter constructed from the remnants of Zyrexian infrastructure, Commander Elena Rodriguez and her team worked to bridge the vast cultural and biological divide. Zelnera, the Zyrexian representative, moved with a grace that seemed to defy the planet's harsh gravitational pull. Its body, neither fully solid nor entirely energy-based, shifted and rippled as it spoke, a biological adaptation that both fascinated and challenged human understanding. Dr. Amira Khan sat carefully, her environmental suit providing protection against the planet's degraded atmosphere. Her translation matrix hummed softly, working overtime to decode the complex linguistic and telepathic communication patterns of the Zyrexians. "Your civilization has survived against impossible odds," Commander Rodriguez observed, her voice calm and measured. "We want to understand how, and more importantly, how we can help." Exelnera's response came in a combination of modulated sound and subtle energy pulses that the translation matrix struggled to fully capture. "Survival," the alien representative communicated, "is not the same as living. We have endured, but at what cost?" Lieutenant Kai Martinez carefully documented every interaction, his neural interface capturing nuanced details that might escape traditional recording methods. The story of the Zyrexians was becoming clear, a tale of technological ambition, environmental catastrophe, and a desperate fight for survival. The Zyrexian homeworld of Nexora had once been a technological marvel. Their civilization had developed advanced energy manipulation technologies that allowed them to reshape planetary environments. But a cascading series of technological failures and ecological miscalculations had brought them to the brink of extinction. "We believed we could control our environment," Zelnera explained, its form momentarily stabilizing into a more humanoid shape. "Our technological prowess made us arrogant. We did not understand the delicate balance of planetary systems until it was too late." Dr. Khan leaned forward, her scientific curiosity piqued. "How long has your civilization been in this state of decline?" The response was both tragic and remarkable. "Nearly 3 planetary cycles, equivalent to approximately 275 Earth years, the Zyrexians had been slowly dying. Their population had dwindled from billions to mere thousands. Their advanced technologies, once their greatest achievement, had become their most significant liability." Commander Rodriguez exchanged a meaningful glance with her team. Humanity had its own history of environmental challenges, narrowly avoiding planetary collapse through radical technological and social transformations. The parallels were striking. "We can help," she stated, "not as a boast, but as a commitment. But help requires partnership. We cannot simply impose our solutions." Zelnera's form flickered, a reaction that the team's xenolinguists interpreted as emotional complexity, surprise, hope, cautious optimism. Over the next several days, a comprehensive assessment began. The Horizon's scientific team worked alongside the remaining Zyrexian specialists, mapping out the extent of their planetary damage. Sophisticated drones and environmental reconstruction units were deployed, gathering critical data about Nexora's ecological systems. Lieutenant Martinez discovered something unexpected during a geological survey. Deep beneath the planet's damaged surface, there were massive energy reservoirs, dormant technologies that could potentially be reactivated with the right approach. "It's like they built a planetary life support system," He reported to Commander Rodriguez, but forgot how to restart it. The challenge was clear. The Xeraxians possessed incredible technological knowledge, but their civilization had become so depleted that they could no longer implement their own solutions. Humanity's strength had always been adaptability, innovation, and a unique ability to collaborate across seemingly insurmountable differences. Zelnera watched the human team work with a mixture of curiosity and emerging hope. "You do not see us as a problem to be solved," the alien observed, "but as partners in a larger solution." Commander Rodriguez smiled. "That's exactly right. We're not here to rescue you. We're here to work together." As the first Earth-Xeraxian collaborative teams began their work, something remarkable started to happen. The planet itself seemed to respond. Subtle changes in atmospheric composition, minor but significant shifts in geological stability. The first steps of planetary reconstruction had begun. And with it, a friendship that would challenge everything the galaxy thought it knew about interstellar cooperation. The silent threat was transforming into a beacon of hope. Technological synergy. The collaborative research base had transformed a significant portion of Nexera's central research complex. What was once a decaying monument to a dying civilization now buzzed with unprecedented energy and potential. Humans and Xeraxians worked side by side, their differences becoming a strength rather than a barrier. Dr. Amira Khan stood before a massive holographic display, her fingers tracing intricate energy patterns that combined human computational models with Xeraxian quantum manipulation techniques. "It's not just about fixing the planet," she explained to Commander Rodriguez. "We're developing an entirely new approach to planetary restoration." The breakthrough came from an unexpected synthesis of technologies. Xeraxian energy manipulation was fundamentally different from human technological approaches. Where humans typically relied on external technological interventions, Xeraxians had developed a more integrated approach that treated planetary systems as living, interconnected networks. Lieutenant Kai Martinez had become the primary liaison between human technological teams and Xeraxian specialists. His ability to translate not just language, but conceptual frameworks proved crucial. "They don't see technology as something separate from the environment," he explained during a briefing. "For Xeraxians, technology is an extension of ecological systems." Zelnera, now a key partner in the reconstruction efforts, demonstrated how Xeraxian energy matrices could be recalibrated to restore planetary systems. The process was unlike anything humans had previously conceived. A dance of energy, information, and biological recalibration that defied traditional scientific understanding. The first major test came with the planet's dying atmospheric system. Nexera's atmosphere had become a toxic mix of industrial remnants and environmental degradation. Traditional human terraforming techniques would have taken decades. The Xeraxian approach promised dramatic results in a fraction of the time. "Watch," Zelnera instructed, its translucent form shifting to interface directly with a massive energy matrix. The research team gathered, a mix of human scientists and Xeraxian specialists, watched in awe as the planet began to respond. Atmospheric sensors showed immediate changes, toxic compounds breaking down, oxygen levels stabilizing, temperature gradients realigning. Commander Rodriguez understood the deeper significance. This was more than a technological fix. It was a fundamental reimagining of how intelligent species could interact with their environment. Not everything was smooth, however. The collaborative effort faced significant challenges. Some human team members struggled to adapt to the Xeraxians' nonlinear thinking. The alien species' ability to communicate through complex energy patterns often left traditional human communication methods feeling primitive and limited. Dr. Khan discovered a particularly fascinating aspect of Xeraxian technology. Their energy matrices could store and process information in three-dimensional quantum states, a level of computational complexity that far exceeded human capabilities. "It's like they've been using quantum computing as a basic communication tool," she marveled during a late-night research session. The implications were staggering. Each solved problem revealed layers of potential that neither species had previously imagined. A power generation technique developed to restore Nexara's energy grid could revolutionize human understanding of sustainable energy. Xeraxian atmospheric restoration techniques could provide solutions for climate-challenged planets across the galaxy. But the most profound changes were happening at a cultural level. Xeraxian society had been near collapse, trapped in a cycle of technological despair. The human approach, collaborative, adaptive, optimistic, began to transform their collective psychology. "We were dying," Selenera confided to Commander Rodriguez during a moment of rare personal reflection, not just physically, but spiritually. "We had lost the ability to imagine a future." The commander's response was characteristic of human resilience. "The future is always possible," she said. "It just requires imagination and hard work." As the first signs of restored vegetation began to appear on Nexara's surface, green shoots pushing through soil that had been barren for generations, the research team celebrated. But it was more than a scientific achievement. It was a testament to what could be accomplished when different species set aside their differences and worked toward a common goal. The technological synergy was more than a solution to a planetary crisis. It was the beginning of a new way of understanding life, technology, and cooperation in the universe. Humanity had not just helped save a civilization. They had opened a door to an entirely new understanding of what was possible. Galactic reckoning. The news spread through the galactic communication networks like a wildfire. The forgotten Xeraxians, a species long considered extinct, had not only survived, but were now emerging with unprecedented technological capabilities. And they were aligned with humanity. The Consortium of Stellar Governance, a loose alliance of advanced civilizations that had long dominated galactic politics, convened an emergency session. Representatives from dozens of star-spanning civilizations gathered, their holographic projections filling a massive chamber designed to showcase their collective power. "The humans have done more than simply assist the Xeraxians," declared Vortak, a senior representative from the Krillian Imperium, his multi-jointed form shifting with barely contained aggression. "They have introduced an unpredictable element into the galactic balance of power." Commander Elena Rodriguez sat aboard the UES Horizon, monitoring the diplomatic channels. She understood the delicate nature of their position. The technological advancements developed through human-Xeraxian collaboration represented a quantum leap in planetary restoration and energy management. Such knowledge could reshape entire civilizations or destabilize them. Lieutenant Kai Martinez tracked the incoming communication streams. "They're positioning for a confrontation," he reported to Dr. Amira Khan. "Multiple stellar nations are sending scout ships toward Nexara." Xelenera, now a crucial member of the human Xeraxian leadership team, materialized in the Horizon's strategy room. Its energy-based form flickered with a mixture of concern and determination. "They fear what they do not understand," the Xeraxian representative communicated, "and they understand very little about true cooperation." The first probe arrived within 48 hours. A sleek Krillian reconnaissance vessel approached Nexara's orbital space, its sensor arrays probing the planet's newly restored systems. Commander Rodriguez knew this was a test, a deliberate provocation designed to assess their preparedness. "Maintain defensive posture," she instructed, "but do not engage unless directly threatened." The Horizon's advanced defensive systems hummed to life. Unlike traditional military vessels, the ship represented the pinnacle of human defensive technology. Adaptive, intelligent, capable of responding to threats with surgical precision. The Krillian probe made multiple passes, each increasingly aggressive. Its sensor beams tried to penetrate the planet's restored energy matrix, seeking vulnerabilities. What they found instead was a completely integrated defensive system that was both beautiful and terrifying in its complexity. Vortak's voice cut through the communication channels. "Explain your presence in this sector," he demanded. "The Xeraxians were declared a terminated civilization. Your intervention violates multiple galactic governance protocols." Commander Rodriguez's response was calm and unequivocal. "We do not recognize the authority of any governance that would allow an entire civilization to perish," she stated. The Zeraxians have the right to exist and to rebuild. The diplomatic tension was a mere prelude. Within days, a more substantial threat emerged. A battle group from the Krillian Imperium arrived at the edges of the Nexura system. Multiple warships representing significant military power. They seek to demonstrate superiority, Selnera observed, to show that our restoration means nothing in the face of their military might. But humanity and the Zeraxians had been preparing. The planet's defensive systems were no longer just technological. They were a living, adaptive network that combined Zeraxian energy manipulation with human strategic thinking. As the first Krillian energy weapons discharged, something extraordinary happened. Instead of traditional defensive responses, Nexura's planetary matrix absorbed the incoming energy, transforming it, redirecting it in ways that defied conventional warfare. The human Zeraxian response was not about destruction. It was about neutralization. Each Krillian weapon discharge was carefully dissipated, its energy repurposed to strengthen the planet's protective systems. Vortak watched in disbelief as his supposedly overwhelming force was rendered completely ineffective. Not a single Krillian ship was damaged, but they were completely neutralized, their systems confused and overwhelmed by a defensive technology they could not comprehend. "This is not warfare," Commander Rodriguez transmitted to the Krillian command. "This is protection. We will defend ourselves, but we will not destroy you." The message was clear. Humanity and the Zeraxians were not just surviving. They were redefining the very concept of conflict in the galaxy. As the Krillian battle group retreated, a new understanding began to take shape. Some civilizations would always seek to dominate, but some would choose to collaborate, to grow, to transform. The galactic reckoning had begun, and humanity had just shown the universe a different path. A new horizon. 5 years had passed since the pivotal moment when humanity first encountered the Zeraxians. Nexura was now unrecognizable, a vibrant, living world that stood as a testament to the power of interspecies collaboration. The Horizon, once a mere exploration vessel, had become a symbol of a new approach to galactic relations. Commander Elena Rodriguez stood on the ship's observation deck, watching as a new generation of human and Zeraxian scientists prepared for their most ambitious project yet, a comprehensive galactic restoration initiative. Dr. Amira Khan approached, her steps measured, a holographic display dancing between her fingers. "The Galactic Restoration Council has approved our proposal," she said, a smile breaking through her typically reserved demeanor. "All 47 member civilizations have agreed to our collaborative approach." It was an unprecedented moment. The confrontation with the Krillian Imperium had been a turning point. Rather than responding with traditional military might, humanity and the Zeraxians had demonstrated an approach to conflict that was fundamentally different, one of adaptive defense, technological transformation, and unwavering commitment to life. Exelnera materialized beside them, its energy-based form now more stable, more integrated. The Zeraxian had become more than just a representative of its species. It was a bridge between civilizations. "We are no longer survivors," it communicated, the translation matrix capturing both linguistic and emotional nuance. "We are creators." The transformation went far beyond planetary restoration. The technologies developed on Nexura had already begun to change how civilizations approached environmental challenges. Planets once considered irredeemable were now showing signs of recovery. Ecosystems that had been on the brink of collapse were finding new balance. Lieutenant Kai Martinez was now leading the interspecies technology integration team. His work had become crucial in translating not just languages, but entire conceptual frameworks. "It's not about converting one technology to another," he often explained. "It's about finding the underlying principles of connection." The Galactic Restoration Council was more than a political body. It was a living network of collaboration, with humans and Zeraxians at its core. Each participating civilization brought unique perspectives, but the foundational principles remained the same: preservation of life, adaptive innovation, and mutual understanding. Commander Rodriguez reflected on the journey. When they first arrived on Nexura, the planet had been a dead world. Now, it was a beacon of hope, a living example of what could be achieved when species set aside their differences and worked toward a common goal. "We didn't just save a civilization," she said to Excelnera. "We discovered a new way of existing." The Zyrexians' response was profound. "Survival is not about conquest," it communicated. "It's about connection, about understanding that life is a complex, interconnected network." Their work was far from over. Dozens of planets still needed restoration. Countless civilizations were still struggling with environmental and technological challenges. But now, they had a model, a way forward that was neither purely technological nor purely biological, but something entirely new. As the Horizon prepared for its next mission, a holographic display showed the current state of Nexura. Where there had once been barren wasteland, now there were thriving ecosystems, cities built in harmony with the natural environment, a civilization reborn not through conquest, but through collaboration. Lieutenant Martinez approached with a final report. "The last planetary restoration model has been approved," he said. "We're ready to begin the next phase." Commander Rodriguez looked out at the stars. The galaxy had changed. Humanity had changed. And it all began with a simple decision to listen, to understand, to help. "Let's go," she said simply. The Horizon moved forward, carrying with it the hope of a new kind of civilization. One that understood that the true measure of intelligence was not in the ability to destroy, but in the capacity to create, to connect, to transform. A new horizon awaited.